And welcome back to another First Alert Weather Extra. Happy Friday to all across Southwest Louisiana. Definitely was a cloudy and foggy start to the day, and really it's been part of a pattern of spring-like weather that we've had over the past couple of days. But don't get used to it, because we're right back to cooler weather starting Sunday. It's going to stick around for a couple of days before we start to warm up again as we head into the later part of next week. We're going to break all of that down in the next 10 minutes or so. And just as a note, Jacob is off today, in case you haven't noticed. So I'll be here to annoy you or possibly help you plan out your day, maybe a little bit of both. He's going to be right back here on 70 Sunrise, the Fox Morning Show, and First Alert Weather Extra on Monday. But let's get into it. For now, things are starting off on a quiet note across Southwest Louisiana. We did have a few showers that moved into our, or at least parts of the area during the pre-dawn and early morning hours. You can make that out on the satellite. At this point, the only rain locally are a couple of showers in far northern Vernon Parish. That is about it. If we zoom out more, well, things are, aside from that, pretty quiet across the region. There are some showers and storms in parts of the southeast over towards the Florida Panhandle, up towards Georgia and the Carolinas. If we zoom out even more, again, still overall a pretty quiet weather pattern for the central part of the country. The only really major system to talk about is an area of low pressure that's swirling over parts of the Great Lakes, bringing rain and snow to parts of Michigan and Wisconsin and the Upper Peninsula, and some snow breaking out in the higher elevations of the northeastern United States with some rain at the coast. But again, not a whole lot going on across the country aside from that, and some higher elevation snow in the four corners as well. So overall, a pretty quiet start to the day, not just for us, but for most of the United States at that. We did have quite a bit of fog earlier on during the morning hours, but visibilities have greatly improved in the couple of hours since sunrise, with only some low clouds out there. In fact, if we take a look at some of the higher resolution satellite imagery that we have, of course, part of it is taking place during the earlier part of the morning hours before sunrise. Once the sun comes up, you can make out where we had those low clouds, but at the later part of the loop, you'll notice more sunshine, or at least some clearer skies, breaking out into Cameron Parish and slowly pushing off to the north. I'll try to outline where that is. You can make out some of the darker colors on the satellite where I'm circling with the arrow, that sunshine moving north. So as that happens, we should really start to warm things up more heading into the afternoon hours. In fact, we've already seen a pretty good warming trend so far. We are around 70 degrees area-wide at sunrise. Now we're up to 76 degrees in Lake Charles, 75 over into Oakdale, 68. That is the coolest location at the Cameron coast. And if I click on Lake Charles, you'll notice we have a breezy, or a pretty decent southerly breeze at 10 miles per hour. Higher gusts are out there. We could even see some gusts approach 20 miles per hour at a point later on in the afternoon. So a southerly breeze, once again, is back here, keeping things humid. That dew point is how we measure the humidity. That's at 70 degrees. So for the standard of late February, yeah, it is definitely a very humid one outside. For sure, if you were outside last night or this morning, certainly that's something you probably have noticed. So let's take you through the next day, the day and a half here. We'll start on Futurecast right now. It's been doing a good job. It did a really nice job of showing where we would have those showers earlier on during the day. For the remainder of the day, it shows more sunshine and very little in the way of rain. So that means temperatures will continue to climb and likely getting into the low 80s for some locations, especially near the I-10 corridor. So it is going to be quite a warm spring-like day, humid as well. And again, winds could gust in upwards of 20 miles per hour at times. Now we're going to head into the evening hours here. We'll see more clouds return. We could even have another round of fog and possibly some locally dense fog as we head later this evening morning and overnight if the winds can calm down enough. So we are going to keep an eye on that. Temperatures will stay mild tonight for the most part, into the 60s. Starting the day tomorrow, we'll have clouds around, fog, so pretty much a repeat of what we had earlier on this morning. Now, as we go forward in time here, that front is going to start to make its way through the area. We've been tracking a cold front. Right now it's off to the north of our area, and that is going to move on down tomorrow. So even by around noon, you'll notice over in Oakdale, the wind switched to a northerly direction. That is the front. Along that front could come a few spotty to isolated showers. Nothing that really is going to seriously impact any outdoor plans unless any rain, even very light, is an absolute no-go. But again, if a couple of spotty showers here and there are fine, then I don't see any issues for outdoor plans tomorrow. So it is going to be another warm and humid day. Temperatures should be able to warm on up, likely into the mid-70s and possibly warmer, especially south of I-10 if we do see a bit more sunshine. So another warm day, but watch what happens around 3 o'clock here. Those winds really start to pick up from the northwest, gusting over 20 miles per hour late in the afternoon. That is the cold front, and that is going to cool things down in a hurry tomorrow night. You'll also notice even around 8 o'clock tomorrow night, the clouds begin to move out. So overall, the weekend can be described as follows. Between now and Saturday, tomorrow around 3 o'clock, it's just full spring weather with humid weather, temperatures that feasibly could reach 80 degrees tomorrow in a few locations. Now, I think for areas north of I-10, that may be aggressive. We may be held in the 70s tomorrow. Still a spring-like day tomorrow. But look what happened Sunday and Monday. Those are the high temperatures. Low 60s. That's what we're going with, as a much drier and cool and breezy weather returns. In fact, speaking of the wind, we just saw that Saturday evening. We're still going to have wind into Sunday morning. That's going to exert a wind chill. So look at these numbers by around sunrise on Sunday morning. We're talking about wind chills down likely into the mid-30s. It would not be a shock if a couple low 30s for wind chills were to take place. So if you are going to be headed out anywhere on Sunday morning, maybe headed to church or for early morning run or whatever you would be, whatever plans you would have, yeah, you would want to make sure you have that jacket out. I definitely will admit I put mine away because I've been enjoying the nice warm weather, but I will be sure to get mine out at some point in the next day because it's February. Let's face facts here. It's definitely still in the winter season, even if it has not felt like it over the past week to week and a half. But yes, it is going to turn cooler, much cooler in a hurry by Sunday morning. And that Sunday morning, here is a look at the forecast nighttime temperatures on Sunday night. Down likely into the low 40s. And Monday night, well, for Monday night, I think that's going to shape up to be the coldest of the next 10 days, if not longer. I think 30s are a pretty good bet, even down to here in Lake Charles along the I-10 corridor, and certainly areas farther north could have easily reached the mid-30s, and that also means, depending on the wind, frost will be a possibility at that time. So maybe you thought about getting an early start on the planting season. For sure, hold off until Monday because frost will be possible on Monday, that's Monday night. And again, it's still February, which is still a wintertime month. So even though we're going to warm up as we head into the few days after that, again, we still can get some rounds of cold weather to come down from the north, even into early March. So I would say at least through early March, if you can hold off on doing any sort of planting at the very least until then, that would be a good idea. Since again, we're still in that winter type of season, even if it just has not felt like it over the past couple of days and really much of the past week here. So the big picture here, again, there is that cold front. It's off to the north. That's going to come on down into our area as we head into Saturday. So again, more clouds, maybe a few passing showers, and once that front moves on through, we are going to dry out. Thank you, high pressure, for bringing back some sunshine on Sunday. Now, we're going ahead into Monday. Again, really nice start to the week. It's going to be comfortable during the afternoon. Sunday will be a little bit breezy, so maybe it feels a bit cooler. I mean, compared to today, it definitely will feel cooler as we head into Sunday afternoon. But aside from a breeze, it's going to be a pretty nice day. Monday looks even better in the afternoon. Again, it's really the evenings and the nighttime hours. That's when we're going to get quite chilly. But high pressure will also slide off to the east quickly into next week. Once that happens, we are going to warm on up in a hurry. We'll likely have a breezy southerly wind return as well. But despite that, our rain chances look pretty low for the time being. There may be another cold front that tries to move on through sometime as we head into the Wednesday, Thursday time frame. Models vary on that. If so, that could bring our next chance of perhaps a few showers, but for now, it looks like our rain chances stay low unless something big changes, which again, that's a week out. So is it in the realm of possibility we get large changes? Sure, but right now, it looks like our rain chances stay pretty low for the next 7 to 10 days. Now, as far as our temperatures, circling back here to the 10-day forecast again, we'll keep an eye out on a few showers tomorrow at times. And then as we head into Sunday through Tuesday, that's our taste of winter weather again, 60s during the day. Monday night looking cold into the 30s and during the nighttime hours. But by Wednesday, we're back into the mid-70s. We'll keep an eye for Thursday to see if another cold front can sneak its way into the forecast. But right now, it just looks like we'll rebound at least for a little bit back to above normal temperatures. So definitely more weather whiplashes going on. We've had a lot of that over the past couple of months, but for the next 10 days, that does not look like we'll have any signs of shaking, though temperature changes, at least as of yet. Before this weekend, though, again, tomorrow, just keep an eye on the sky. There could be a few passing showers. The wind picks up later in the day, and then we turn much cooler on Sunday. But again, if a few showers aren't an issue, or if a breezy northerly wind on Sunday is an issue, then outdoor plans should be a-okay. But that wraps up today's edition, or at least this morning's edition of First Alert Weather Extra. Chief Meteorologist Wade Hampton will be here in the evening for the evening edition. Jacob will be back in the mornings next week. But again, that wraps things up for today. Enjoy your Friday and enjoy the weekend.